Um, a few days ago, in our company LinkedIn page, Arthigamya LinkedIn page, I made a post which was in context of trading derivatives for speculative gains. So here we have mentioned that trading derivatives actually sets us up for speculative gains. Speculative gains, for your understanding, is by definition something that cannot be predicted and is highly variable. Uh, So, to earn these speculative gains, our underlying hypothesis is that anything is possible in the market and that it is not possible to predict the upside, the downside, or the period of ranges, which also implies that there is no right or wrong time to enter in the market. In order to realize these speculative gains, the best traders in the world always have a trade position and they always have an exit plan. The best traders in the world are not necessarily rewarded for their timing, but are rather rewarded for their planning. Trading futures, in particular, sets us up to maximize gains in delta. And to get these maximum gains in delta, we need strong directional moves. The post was subsequently highlighting the M pattern formation on Nifty and shared our positions for the January series rollover to February. But today I would like to show the trade which we have already executed in the past. This is an account of our client. And the trade that I would like to show is that of Bajaj Finserv, which is a stock future trade in the November series of 2020, just last year, couple of months back. We can see that our we traded it in one lot, which is apparent from the buy value of 7,26,000, and we gained 3,76,000, which is approximately 50% within a single expiry in Nifty 50 stock, which is quite good because Nifty 50 stocks have in general lower beta as compared to perhaps Nifty 200 or Nifty 500 stocks. So in today's video, I thought I'll just share the thought process, and in the process of reviewing that trade, maybe you could learn a few things which are quite critical to price action. But before I go ahead, I would sincerely request you to go to LinkedIn, find Arthigamya on LinkedIn. We keep making our posts, and currently we are at 500 odd followers. We have 65 odd clients, but we are continuously looking for support and are eager to serve you. But, anyways, coming back to the Bajaj FinServe trade, let's just have a look at the price action. So what I have here is the Bajaj FinServe chart, which has been set on the daily time frames. And I would just like to show you the context. So we can see that Bajaj FinServe, from the highs of approximately 9,500, fell sharply in the COVID crisis. During this fall, we saw a couple of strong bullish reversal candles, which was duly refuted by the market. So, for example, this candle right here is what we would call a piercing candlestick, and this low was subsequently breached by the market. A few days later, the market forms another engulfing candlestick to this doji, and again this low was taken out by the market. A couple of days again into the price action, we once again see a piercing candlestick, and what defending this low. And what we need to see is, will the market take this? Will the stock take out this low, or will it hold? And as we trade further, we see that this low was indeed taken out, only to have formed another piercing candlestick at the same region. So, with with the understanding of clear refutations tactical in tactical tools such as candlesticks, we have understood critical pivotal points in this chart. And so now we follow the price action closely, and we see that this region here, 5400, is quite a strong region, and 6500 is definitely a short-term resistance, and 9,500 of course being the pivotal high. So subsequently into the price action, we see this test of 6500, and and then we see a double top at 6500, a triple top at 6500, quadruple top at 6500, followed by a test at 5400, and we see approximately another test at 5400. Now it is at this point, at this point, once we come here, we see that we are already formed what is an engulfing candle to the previous doji. We are seeing 5400 as a relatively important slot in the price zone. Also, with relation to this candle, we can see a clear cut, strong bullish candle. We are now looking to defend these lows. So it makes sense that after this green closing that we observe Bajaj Finserv, and soon enough we enter it at around this, at the high of this green closing the next day, which was a doji. This marked actually our entry point on the stock. Now, once we enter into the stock, it is very critical that, it is very common, it's very easy to enter into ranges, but it is extremely critical to enter into a stock with the correct mindset, particularly if you're trading futures. When you're trading futures, the idea is to go after the speculative gain, and that you are trading futures in order to maximize delta. So, the only time you're going to get paid off from a stock is when the stock that you buy runs, and there is no way to truly know that whether a previous support or a previous resistance will hold or not. Nonetheless, uh, based on our assessment, we took the decision that maybe at 5400, as the stock was approaching and forming a double bottom, that it took support at 5600 itself prompted our entry. Once this entry was made, the stock did, if you notice, this is a bearish counter attack candle because it's a gap up and a close, pretty close to the 6500 mark. So it's possible that the stock would have reversed, but it is our job to trail this stock, and we did trail, and subsequently the stock broke the 6500 mark, then the 6900 mark, a spinning top at 7000, 7200, a doji at 7300, continuation at 7700, and here we see inverted. It's sort of it's definitely a doji of some sort, or one could even argue that this is an inverted hammer at the end of an extended move. It's possible, but we need to wait for a confirmation. So we did not give up the position, and boom, next day another strong move, 8500, a gap up. Now here one could argue that this is an exhaustion gap, possibly, and it sets you up for evening star and patterns like that. We get a spinning top, and here we have a bearish engulfing to this, setting up warning signs that we need to watch out if this stock is going to fall, because now after an exhaustion gap, a bearish engulfing, any strong continuation move implies that we must get rid of this stock. We do not get confirmation the next day, it's a small green close. We do not get a confirmation again the day after that, it's a small red close. And this process of flatness continues till again Bajaj Finserv moves on the upside at 9100. We have more red and a doji. We continue to hold this particular stock, and yeah, just to add, it's at around this point here that we had to roll over this stock into the December series. So from here at around 8800, we had booked this stock, getting netting around 3 plus thousand points from the stock and the 3.75 lakh. But the trade ended much later in the December series. So the December series for us started at around these levels. This is where we had bought. I'll just mark this in green. Um, here. And we obviously see a breakout after a couple of days from entry, but we are seeing another red doji and a series of testing candles. We continue to hold, and another green. We are wondering if this is another breakaway gap. We have a clear reference point, and soon enough we get a red and a sharp fall in the market. So this is the fall of the 21st of December, when the overall index corrected by about 4 points, 4%. And in that on that day, Bajaj Finserv also managed to trigger out an exit, giving us reasonable gains, and truly and truly justifying why one should trail a stock leading into the position. So yeah, so hopefully you just a quick recap. We identified price actions by seeing failure points on candlesticks. We identify these zones of resistances and supports. We only look to react towards confirmed supports and resistance if you're trading ranges. And once we get into a range, we don't try and predict the high and the low. We only follow the stock. And depending on how the price action where it takes us, we once in a while you could catch a monster. And given that we entered the stock at around this level, so this was basically our entry, and our stop loss was definitely below this. I mean, it could not have been below this. It more or less would have been on the failure of this candle. So given that, so I'll just mark this in the red. Given that we are only risking this much, when we catch a move of around this much, it's fair to say that Bajaj Finserv has paid for itself for several, perhaps tens of trades in the future. So yes, so letting our winners run using price action and simple candlestick tools with the correct mindset can perhaps make a lot of difference in your own personal trading. So with this, I wish you the best for the subsequent week ahead. Have a good week in trading. Take care.